Today in the Conscious Wealth studio, I have Conscious Wealth Manager Andrew Olsen. And Andrew, one of the things you've been coming into the office and talking our ears off about is the Silver Tsunami. And for those of you who don't know, the Silver Tsunami is this idea that there are a lot of baby boomers retiring and they own businesses. And so, Andrew, if I were a baby boomer, I am not, but if I were, and I wanted to sell my business next year, when should I get started?
Yeah, at least probably 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago would have been a great time.
Years would have been.
If you're wanting to exit next year, 3 years is a good runway. 3 years total is a great runway.
It's funny because everyone I talk to says, I'm going to sell my business in 5 years. And you see them the next year and they say 5 years. And it's always 5 years until it's tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
and you're like, whoa, we're not ready.
Yeah. And I think that psychologically, a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of boomers in general they're just action people. And so, it's I'm starting the business now and we're just going to figure it out. And I'm going to sell the business now and we're just going to figure it out. And so they have these maybe sometimes unrealistic deadlines, but that's why they're great entrepreneurs. So,
well, what makes you good at building a business does not necessarily make you good at selling a business.
Absolutely.
But let's get back to the Silver Tsunami because you are fascinated with it. Can you give us some numbers on it and tell me what's happening that somebody decided to coin it, this word? Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so some quick numbers to have offhand is 10,000 people a day in the U.S. are turning 65.
Wow.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And they're, getting ready to retire at 65. So 51% of all privately held businesses are owned by baby boomers. That's really important because that's a lot. And you'll see on the next number why it is a lot. That's $15 trillion.
$15 trillion
of business equity that is privately held by boomers. So that is huge. It's bigger than the dot-com bubble market cap peak to trough, for example. So
I ain't ever seen 15 trillion.
No, me neither.
Where are they going to get that money from? Who are they going to sell it to?
Yeah, well, that's the key question, right? And that's why it is such an interesting phenomenon. People are selling businesses all the time. Some of it's interesting, some of it's not. But in this particular instance, if you wait till the deadline, you really don't have a ton of options.
If you wait till the last minute to sell your business.
Right. If you do say, like in your example, hey, I want to be done in 6 months. You might get there, but there's so much that you could miss out on, in the meantime. And so expediency here is probably not the best thing.
Mm-hmm. But so $15 trillion, like I've never even seen that kind of money. Where are they going to get it from? Who is going to buy these businesses?
So yeah, that really is the crucial question. So if you're on a tight timeline, you want to get this done really, really quickly, like in your example earlier, you're probably going to end up selling it to some version of a private equity fund. It might be a big one or a small one, but that's probably where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
And we can talk about why that's not in your best interest. But if you do things the right way, you have much, much, much more breadth of options. And so, hopefully the millennial generation who's kind of coming into their own and the Gen X generation who's firmly established, hopefully these people will be buying these businesses. And that's great for a lot of reasons that we talk about. That's legacy preservation. And it's also just going to keep your firm from being completely undone, all of your work. I mean, one of the examples we talked about is if you own a car dealership and it's Brandon Hatton Motors,
yeah,
you might not think it's a big deal, but if a giant chain buys it up and it's not Brandon Hatton Motors, it's just Toyota of Old Fourth Ward. It's just it seems like not much, but it's taking away a huge part of everything that you've built.
So a lot of the baby boomers have built companies with integrity, with a culture, and they care about the people that they work for.
Yes.
And not every private equity, and dare I say, many of them will not care about that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And so
and it's totally fair too. I mean, on the private equity side, they're just trying to make a return. And they like when people rush to the finish line because things are scrappy. They're often using, some kind of advisor that they're going to repeatedly use, some kind of M&A advisor or bank that they're going to repeatedly buy from. They kind of like the rush to the finish line because it helps them get a discount, and that's good for investors. So that's their incentive. No judgment, good or bad, but it is a different attitude than someone who, I just spent 30 years building this.
Yeah.
I would like the culture the legacy, I would like it to stay intact as we move through this transition. And that just is a longer time frame.
It's a longer time frame. And so it's a longer time frame, but when you take a longer time frame, you could get more money at the exit. And that is vitally important for this, for these baby boomers, part of the silver tsunami.
Yeah, it's crucial. I mean, almost every business owner is going to have, I would say 80+%, you can tell me what you've seen, but 80+% of their net worth in their business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like,
yeah.
and we've seen it, much higher than that, but that's just the case. And so you build this business, that's your retirement asset, your main retirement asset. And you kind of think like, oh, I'm just going to sell my business. And that's an easy sentence to say, but
yeah,
man, it takes a lot of work.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true.
Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
That's an Arrested Development.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, but that is it. There's as you're working your whole life through this thing and you're building this business, you're like, well, I can always cash this out and I can always cash this out. But if you don't do it right, the risk is you lose your culture and you lose a lot in your retirement.
Yeah.
So let's give our listeners some juice. Let's give them a takeaway, some high level. What should they be thinking about if they want to sell their business 3 years from now?
Yeah. The most crucial thing is having a team.
Yep.
You have to have a team, and usually you think less people involved, the better. This is actually one of those cases where you want a ton of collaboration because each party is going to represent different interests, and all of those interests should align with you. And sometimes in the transaction space, especially if you're alone, if you don't have a team of people helping you, incentives get misaligned.
Yeah.
And so having a CPA, most everyone has a CPA. Almost no one has a CPA that's ready to handle a transaction.
That's true.
Right? Especially on the personal and the business. Like, it's probably good to have those in two separate categories. M&A advisors, you have to be so careful when picking your M&A advisor.
So careful.
I mean, it's incredible. And you need your estate planning lawyer. Might not be the guy that you go to for this.
Might be the guy who wrote a will. Might not be that
exactly.
person. And your financial advisor may not be the person that came knocking at your door 20 years ago. And
totally.
But somebody who can navigate this with you.
Yes, someone who has experience in this, someone who has seen it go well and not so well.
I've seen both.
Yeah, and it's crucial to have that because a lot of times we see, money being left on the table, but also just we've heard from clients, we've heard from different people who we've helped, just the struggle of getting through the transaction and how much weight is on their shoulders. And part of that's inevitable, but a large portion of that could be taken away by having the right team.
Yeah. These are really quick videos, but let's get you back next time and do a video on each of these things. And who needs to be on the team and why you need them there. I think today the key takeaway, if I'm a baby boomer, is I should be planning three years out in advance on this, and now might be the time to start. Get a team. And what's the takeaway if I'm not a baby boomer, but I'm a younger generation and I want to get into the business world?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of cool ways. That deserves its own video too. But there's a lot of cool ways to do this. And we've even seen in the past, people pull from management and people are always looking for someone who's committed to the legacy, people who's committed to the company. And ultimately, with all of this asset transition, which is not going to happen all at once, like I said, it's over 10, 15 years, millennials are due to inherit a lot of money outside of business assets. And so how they invest that money is going to really impact them. And one of the best ways to do it is to become an operator.
That's right. Okay, so I think we just have to do another 10 videos.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Let's do some more videos. Thanks for joining us. You're going to see a lot of Andrew in 2026 and beyond. And keep bringing ideas that'll serve our entrepreneur and business owner clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.